Hello everyone and welcome back to another Warframe video. Before we start, I would like to ask you a question, and this is, what do you think are the weapons that deserves an Incarnon form in the future, or what are the weapons you expect to see to have new evolutions next? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below, and I ask this since this video is subjective, and I want to know what are the weapons that you think needs Incarnon form. I know there are those weapons that needs it drastically like the Mighty Seer or the Humble Stug, but I would like to share something different in this video. I know that there's already a Kuva Seer in the mission, but the upgrade is not that impressive in my opinion. Also, while I would like to have an evolved variant for the Stug, it may be difficult since the weapon already has an alternate fire, and based from Digital Extreme's past track record, they haven't released any Incarn upgrades for base variants variants that already has alternate fire. So it's only a dream right now to see a new Incarnon form be released, already having an alternate fire on its vanilla variant. In this video, I will try to showcase those weapons that have been requested by the community to have Incarnon forms, and some of these weapons are nostalgic, hence it would be nice to give their vanilla variant a second life after some big nerfs. Now, the first weapon that I truly think deserves to have an Incarnon form is the Tiger's Prime. For this video, I pulled out the Duviri Paradox trailer, which was 5 years ago, showing the operator hiding the vanilla Tigress, and then the Drifter using it against a Dax enemy. During the announcement of Digital Extremes that old weapons will be getting Incarnon variants, I was quick to speculate that there might be a possibility that we will see an Incarnon variant for the Tiger's Prime. And not just me, but many players also believe that it's a possibility. However, it wasn't added on the first batch of old weapons to have an Incarnon form, and most of the items that got an evolved variant are those absolute mastery rank fodders. It was a good batch to say the least, and the developers continued to update the Incarnon system and made several mastery rank fodder weapons viable in hard mode content. Most of the weapons considered by the community as trash are now good weapons, and you can actually have fun playing with these weapons in Steel Path levels. Most of them may not be meta, but there are others such as the Incarnon Dual Toxicist and the Incarnon Tord that turned into meta in the game. In the case of an Incarnon Tigress, I'm not asking the developers to hand over a broken Incarnon form, as even without any damage upgrades, the Tigress Prime can one-shot Steel Path units easily given with the right build now. The only thing that's missing for this shotgun is the kill speed efficiency, and it would be nice if the Incarnon form of the Tigress Prime will have the same ricochet effect as the Nusiker's Prime. Also, if somehow we can have a red crit build variant for this while using the Incarnon form, then it would be super cool. The next weapon that I think should have an Incarnon form is the Amprex. I know there will be some that will say that it should be a 10-hit version, but it would be cool to see this classic weapon having an alternate fire. Instead of the normal chain beam lightning, the Incarnon form will transform the beam weapon into an arc lightning beam that hits at least 10 enemies with increased lethality. Red crit will be more preferable as part of the upgrade, and it would be nice also if this will turn into a meta weapon which can compete with the Incarnon Tord. Also, you might say that Corpus weapons should only have 10-hit variant, but Digital Extreme's already broken the cycle when weapons like Dara Vandal now have an evolution. The same can be said with the next two weapons, namely the Twin Grikata and the Atarax. For the gun, it would also be nice if the primary version, namely the Grikata, will have an Incarnon form first. This is one of the most iconic weapon in the game, and I think it's deserving to have an Incarnon form. Some may say that it should be a Kuva weapon, but I think it's better to have an iconic weapon turn into an Incarnon. There are greener weapons such as the Miter and Gorgon that has been turned into Incarnons, and I'm not closing any possibilities that we might see another greener weapon turned into an Incarnon weapon in the future. My hopes for the Twin Grikata is that Digital Extremes give the weapon ammo efficiency in the Incarnon form. This way, we can enjoy the bullet hose weapon in Steel Path levels. Currently, the Twin Grikata can deal solid damage in Steel Path levels given with the right build, but it's not universally fun to use, as in most cases you will end up using arcanes or even Warframe abilities for the ammo efficiency. By the way, I am not asking for infinite ammo with a set duration here. All I'm asking is the developers giving me 3,000 rounds in its Incarnon form to enjoy my Twin Grikata. The next greener weapon is the OG Atarax. This weapon got nerfed bad with the changes to Maiming Strike. Most of the whip weapons right now aren't that good, and I hope in the future Digital Extremes will bring back the power level of these weapons in the game. And not just the Atarax, but also the Skoliak, which is another nostalgic weapon for longtime Warframe players. It would be nice to see the Maiming Strike again, and the Incarnon form will increase critical chance for every slide. But to make it balanced, the critical buff should be limited, and they can add a timer on the buff, or a maximum critical chance bonus so that it would not be broken. It would be good to add damage to the weapon, but I don't think that would be enough, especially that whips are considered meta in the past because of its high range. That's why most players use it and even spend thousands of platinum for range-driven mods, as it's really good in killing multiple targets in one slide attack. The combos of the whip melee weapons right now is kind of weird in my opinion, and I think they should update these combos to something that can hurl the whip around so that it will hit multiple targets. And finally, I would also like to add in this video the Infested Testicles. If you are not familiar with this, then it's commonly called as the Pox. This infested weapon weapon was mighty in the past, and it's one of the best armor-stripping secondary in the game. After the status rework, and also the changes to area of effect damage, the power of these infested testicles diminished. In fact, this was endgame worthy in the past, and it pairs well with Nidus. But right now, you'll most likely consume all your ammunition before you can kill even one high armored steel path enemy. If this infested secondary gets an Incarnon form, then it would be good if they add a cloud effect that's similar to the normal shots of the Incarnon Torrid. And this lingering cloud effect will stay in the field for a couple seconds, and every enemy that's within the vicinity will be inflicted with gas in the status that you equipped on the weapon. Also, they can add a feature wherein after a couple seconds, the cloud will then explode, damaging all enemies within the area. And of course, stats to help increase the damage of this weapon is needed. So that's all about it. These are the weapons that I think deserves an Incarnon form. Now, I would like to hear the weapons that you think Digital Extremes should work on an Incarnon form first. Let us discuss in the comment section below. But before doing so, please help us grow our channel by simply liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and then turning on the notification bell so you will receive all the latest Warframe videos we uploaded. Thank you so much for all your support, and we hope to see you again in our next video.